Coming up on City Spotlight, we're on location once again in Marshall. And on this new episode on Marshall, we'll talk with Marshall Mayor John Trefz and Jennifer Bishop of the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce with reaction to the first season of the new Marshall swimming pool. And we'll get caught up on the latest economic development in Marshall. Plus, what new things will be coming to Marshall. Then we'll head over to the Marshall Public Library and talk with Library Director Alyson Thompson about the different programs being offered at the Marshall Public Library. It's the midway point of Season 6, and we're talking all about Marshall here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location once again here in Season 6. We are back in Marshall, where we started Season 6. Back taping on May 18th at the grand opening of the new Marshall swimming pool. We're going to get caught up on how the season went. To help us out here, we're taping here at City Hall, and we welcome back to the program the Mayor of Marshall, John Trefz.
Thank you. Welcome.
Glad to see you again, John. And Jennifer Bishop of the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. Jennifer, it's a pleasure as always.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Glad to be back here in City Hall and in Marshall. And let's get caught up on how that first season of the new Marshall swimming pool went. A week after the grand opening, myself and my kids came here and checked out the pool. It was a wonderful, beautiful sunny day, a beautiful new facility. Congratulations on the new addition to Marshall. So how did the first season of the new Marshall swimming pool go?
Other than a few little niches, I think Jennifer will agree that everything went well. We actually made money on a pool this year. I know in the past, over the years, working with an old pool, didn't do too well, I'll say that. But this is wonderful. People engineered it and designed it, had little or any problems with it. Would you not say that?
I agree. Yeah. It was a very successful year.
Yeah. Beautiful pool, had a lot of good workers, had a great crowd.
We also talked back in May at the grand opening with pool manager Misty Wheeland, and the thing that she stressed at the end of that interview with her was obviously the behind the scenes, the utilities, and the functionality of the pool. So I take it that's probably another major reason why you were able to be profitable.
True. It does help when you own everything. Absolutely. But, that being said, that goes back to the former mayors and councils over the many years who've seen the vision, realized that the city needs to own, and set it up like that. And it's worked out well, going back 20, 30, 40 years.
Feedback from folks that came all summer long. Where did you have people come from? Do you know any kind of distances people came to the new pool?
Yeah, we had people from Brazil, Indiana, a lot of people from Indiana. We had people from Charleston, Mattoon, Effingham. People drive an average of an hour. And I think the daily attendance was around 250 average a day. And it helps that we also are running the concession stand as well this year. So we're able to provide food and drinks and ice cream and those kind of things, as well as birthday parties and community events out there. So it was a very successful year.
I had a great time with my kiddos there. I think it was the second day it was officially open to the public. Any feedback, general comments? What did people like the most about it?
I think people were, the rock wall was a huge hit.
Yes.
I think a lot of people were just very happy with their kids and them feeling safe, how well the lifeguards did, how professional they were, how professional Misty was running the pool, just the whole 9 yards, being able to provide swim lessons, swim team, birthday parties, you name it. So they sold over 600 pool passes this past year, which is record-breaking.
Yes, it is.
Unbelievable. Actually, we were not anticipating that. So we're anxious to add on for this next year.
Obviously, you're able to provide what the original Marshall swimming pool and then some because of the long-standing tradition and the swim teams and the history that we all know about it. You had one little hiccup there after it kind of opened there. A little weather came through. And how were you able to navigate through the swim season and be able to recover from whatever damage occurred?
Going back to the day, if you want to call it high winds or slight tornado, whatever, took down fence, took down many chairs and so forth. But the main damage was the fence, the exterior fence. We lost some of the chairs. Nothing on the roof, was there? But our guys, we refer to it quite often as our team. Dwayne, Corey, and then our workers were out there, secured the fence, picked stuff up out of the pool. Chairs were in the pool. Over the parking lot were tables, anything. But I would say by, I think we only closed one day. Is that right? Yeah.
Wow.
And we were back in business.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. The guys did a great. And our workers and our employees always come forward and help. It works well. I
gasped there because I had just been there twice at the very beginning of it being open. It's like, oh, please, be no damage. So
yes.
I'm glad you guys escaped that one with minimal damage. Moving forward.
We are too.
Moving forward, year number 2, can you tell us maybe what you're thinking about as far as adding on to the pool? The excitement of obviously the first season went very well, just to have this beautiful, shiny new thing for the community. Yeah.
So I think swim lessons will probably be revamped a little bit this year. Birthday parties will be revamped a little bit this year. We are in talks of adding a pavilion out there with a little more shade, picnic benches, and possibly offering a different opportunity for birthday parties or just parties in general out there. So that will be a big project out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, it will.
Again, congratulations. Beautiful new facility for Marshall, and the tradition of the Marshall swimming pool continues.
Yep.
Before we talk about economic development, which we were not able to cover the last time we talked, because basically the whole episode was about the pool, as it was deserved so. Tell us about, you're working on some public restrooms for the downtown area.
Yeah, a couple years ago, the city bought the old Candy Kitchen lot. It's an empty facade that we have downtown, and we are just started construction this last week on downtown bathrooms. So there'll be public restrooms for the community for all the events that we have uptown, because we currently have no options uptown. So
we were slow coming around with it, but we finally got started. Too many other projects.
Yeah.
Just too many other projects.
Yeah.
I guess the casualties of keeping as busy as you have.
Yeah. But not taking credit for it, but when I would go to these other towns, some even much smaller than Marshall, not having the activities that we have on the square on Main Street, we should not throw the people to our customers and our business people to expect them to open their doors for that. We have to have a bathroom, I said. We have a monthly meeting with all the utility directors and key people, and we came up with it, had the opportunity to buy the land, and we're slow, but hopefully it'll be done by Fall Festival. Right. Next time you come back, it'll be open.
Yep.
And we'll give a grand opening of the bathroom for you.
Certainly enjoyed my time at the lemonade stand contest a couple summers ago. That was an absolute adorable event. All right, let's get caught up on some economic development, and a second truck stop is open now in Marshall. Tell us about the Pilot Flying J on West Trefz Drive.
We're happy to have it. As you and I talked earlier, the numbers are wonderful out there, and I don't think it's taken anything away from Road Ranger. It's just the truck traffic on Interstate 70 is just astronomical, and they have to have a way in and out and off the road at night. We provide, the Pilot Store and the Road Ranger, provide them with a place to get off. They get off the road, they're safe, they're not going to sleep, having accidents.
It's been a great addition, and it offers, great services. I think Road Ranger and Pilot complement each other, and it's just spurred more interest in our community as new projects are coming to fruition. We had an O'Reilly's open up a couple months ago as well. So that's been a great addition, and we just approved a site plan for a truck wash that just broke ground actually last week. And then we had a pool company purchase some land up by the interstate, so they'll be building a massive building in the next year or so. So it's really gained a lot of interest in our community.
The interstate traffic out there has helped us immensely. Marshall is so easy on, easy off compared to going on west.
Right. They're right there, right off Interstate 70 there when you come into Marshall, 2 truck stops. You mentioned the O'Reilly Auto Parts. We're taping here beginning of November 2019, and in the last few episodes of City Spotlight, I've joked with community leaders, a new decade is about to start in everywhere. 2020, a new decade.
I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It didn't really hit me until the summer. It's like, well, I can actually say that because it's about to be 2020. So what kind of economic development might you be able to speak of that will be coming to Marshall at the start of the new decade?
Wow, I'm totally caught off guard.
Yeah, me too.
I think I told the mayor this, a couple of years ago. We're just on the cusp of turning big, and we've gotten there. So really, we would be happy with any growth, not too fast. 1 or 2 projects a year we're very happy with, especially owning our own utilities. So we stay very busy with a lot of projects. So we're still getting caught up on old projects and moving forward on new projects. So hopefully by the end of next year, we'll have 2 billboards out at the interstate welcoming people into town. We should have 40 lions out around town. We're now at mural number 26 and hope to keep growing those. And then we have a secret art project that I'd like to get done out at the interstate. Hopefully next year. We shall see what kind of projects we've got for us.
I have 2 predictions.
Okay.
Marshall's growing so well, maybe even before my term's up, that we will be known as the glass blowing capital of Illinois. We have, tell me how many, 3 or 4 guys down there now.
Oh, there's 3 or 4.
At Bob Dogg's facility.
Yeah.
That might spark a mural too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
the
it
title.
did.
Well, it
Number
did on his
25.
building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I predict that within a year that we will get a real restaurant. And by that I mean a top name restaurant. I think, I'm not tipping my hand here, don't know anything, but the numbers out there are getting better. As I've sit through her classes, it's all about the numbers. And I predict we will have a sit down, I'm just saying this, a Red Lobster or something like Denny's.
For example.
Yeah, for example, yes. Not saying we're not even talking with them.
Right.
I'm just saying something of that magnitude, I think, will be next in line for Marshall. That Route 1 and Trefz Drive out there is growing. We predicted it. And of course, I'm honored that they, going back 30 years ago, named that after my father when he was mayor. I think it's going to go on west past the truck stop. And I believe the numbers are going to roll around.
To give ourselves some time in our next segment with Alyson over at the library, I want to get one comment briefly. We're taping here on November 4th. On December 7th, you have your annual holidays.
Yeah.
Quickly tell our audience at home again, what is holidays?
So holidays is our day that we're going to celebrate and kick off the holiday season. We've revamped it this year to add a lot more activities. So we'll start with a Santa breakfast. There's vendors set up at Harlan Hall, about 40 of them. There's a cookie walk at one of the churches. And then the Marshall Library is doing a Build-A-Bear, which you'll hear about from Alyson here in a little bit. First time we've ever had anything like that in town, so I think there's a lot of excitement around that. And then from 3 to 5, we will have live reindeer. We'll have a snow globe that people can get in and take their picture in. And train barrel rides, a live nativity, face painting. We're going to light our very first community Christmas tree that just got planted. So, and then we will finish the day with the parade and Santa coming into town, and he will end his day at the Festival of Lights.
Sounds like
It's a big day.
Extremely full day for Marshall, Illinois holidays. as usual, come to Marshall and you find out all the great things that are happening here. It's been an absolute treat to come to Marshall over these past 6 seasons of City Spotlight. Pleasure talking again with the Mayor of Marshall, John Trefz.
Thank you.
And Jennifer Bishop of the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Jennifer and John, once again for coming on City Spotlight.
Thanks
Thank you
for having
asking
us.
Appreciate it. Coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll have a segment over at the Marshall Public Library. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Marshall. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Marshall. We've changed locations from City Hall. We are now at the Marshall Public Library. And to help us out in this segment, we welcome first time to the program, the Library Director here at the Marshall Public Library, Alyson Thompson. Alyson, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. Alyson is not a stranger to the WEIU TV airwaves. She was a storyteller for the Marshall Our Story program. But Alyson, you're a first-time guest here on City Spotlight. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, so I've been the Marshall Public Library Director for a little over 5 years. And I began as the Assistant Director under Nancy Claypool, worked with her for about 6 months and then took over as the Director. We have about 8 staff members consistently here at the library. My background is in business, but also in education. So the library position has been a very great marriage of the two backgrounds.
Excellent. We talked briefly about the Marshall Public Library on our last Marshall episode back when we taped in May at the opening of the new Marshall Pool. We learned about some recent renovations that took place there. Before we talk about those renovations, Alyson, can you give our audience at home a little bit of history of not just the library, but the building that the library is currently in?
One of the things that we did this last June was added the 23rd Wall Dog mural to the city of Marshall. And if you've been to Marshall, you know that these wall dogs tell a story of Marshall's history. Yes. And this mural is no exception, and it highlights the building's history. Each of our downtown historic buildings have a pretty rich history, and the libraries is no exception. So it highlights the beginning with a late 1800s picture of a farm implement store. It was called C.A. Dixon Farm Implements, and so they actually made buggies in the building, and then it became a Ford Auto in the 1920s and 30s. Then it went to become a Kroger, and then a Red and White. People remember it as a Red and White as well. And then I think what most residents remember is that it was a Western Auto for several years in Marshall. And then since 1995, the larger portion of the building were actually 2 historic buildings. The larger historic building became part of the Marshall Public Library.
Very good. Again, we talked briefly with Mayor Trefz and Jennifer Bishop back in May about some of the renovations. Kind of revisit that a little bit. What are you excited about the most recent renovations to the library?
We have been hoping for some time to do some renovations. There was a major renovation in 1995, but since then things have changed. Our staff has grown. The demands of the public and their desires on usability have also changed, and so we've been hoping for a renovation for some time. And we received a bequest from a former Handy Writer Colony member, Sonny Daly, Edwin. He was known as Sonny Daly. And that bequest really gave us what we needed to begin the renovation process. And so we applied for a state grant, and we were able to get a construction grant from the Illinois State Library. We had a substantial savings, and that coupled with the Daily bequest, we were able to renovate the main library, add office workrooms, a new after-hours space that we have now called the Sonny Daly Room. And Sonny Daly was a pretty inspiring individual, and I think he would approve that our space is now what we coin the maker space. And so we have things like 3D printers in there. And we offer classes to residents if they want to come in and learn this new creative printing. And so we're excited to be able to offer these new spaces to the public as a result of his generosity.
And this unique room that you mentioned, this room is just outside of the Sunny Daily room. Has unique seating and obviously lots of books around us.
Yes, and so we've had the teen area remodeled to make it a little bit more inviting to teens. We've also redesigned our floor plan in the library. It used to be that the space was sort of divided into two sections. It was hard to see, a little bit dark, and so now we've really opened things up. The visibility, the flow is really much more conducive to what people desire, and also it's just a little safer for our community.
The flooring in the area, this is my second visit to the Marshall Public Library inside, and it's very noticeable. Also a very nice looking children's area as well. Very inviting.
Yes.
Okay, so very good. So that gets us caught up on the physical changes that have transpired here at the Marshall Public Library. You have a couple of exhibitions coming up in 2020 and 2021. We're just going to say those years. A new decade is upon us, but you're very excited about these upcoming exhibitions to be able to land them here. Tell our audience at home what's coming to the Marshall Public Library in the next couple years.
Well, Marshall Public Library has a long history of providing exhibits to the community. One of the things that we've discovered is that our community really desires and sort of demands to have educational opportunities. We're a community of lifelong learners, and one of the ways we're able to meet that demand is by offering meaningful exhibits. Over the past decade or more, we've been able to offer almost annually a large-scale exhibit. We've hosted 5 different Museum on Main Street exhibits, which are part of the Smithsonian exhibit, their museum. They actually developed these to travel across the United States. We've hosted 2 NASA exhibits. We've hosted Pally Foundations. We've hosted Lincoln exhibits. And upcoming in 2020, we have another Pally Foundation exhibit coming, which will be highlighting America's wolves and how they've changed the landscape. Right. And then also, which we're very excited about and honored to have received, the opportunity is a United States Holocaust Museum traveling exhibit. So it will actually be an exhibit that they have on display in Washington, D.C. that they've made into a traveling exhibit, and it's called Americans and the Holocaust. And that will be spring 2021.
Wow, very exciting. We'll have to get caught up with you as those approach. Very good. Tell us about some of the other things that you offer here at the Marshall Public Library.
We strive to provide programs for all ages. So we start as young as 0 to 3 years of age. Why not start in the beginning? Right. And so we have a toddler time program that's offered twice a week here at the library. It's toddler time with Mother Goose. Mother Goose actually travels in the summer, and she goes to a couple of different locations here in town, and we call her Mother Goose on the Loose. And then we have a little book beginners program, which is geared towards preschoolers. And then once they get into school, we offer some annual programs for 1st and 3rd graders, and we try to have a meaningful actor portrayal. And so 1st and 3rd grade will come annually to the library, and they'll get to view some sort of historic figure. And so we have Laura Ingalls-Wild, who will be coming as an actor portrayal this coming spring. And then we have, for 2nd graders, it's called I Can Read. We really try to work with the schools and get children into this library at a young age so that they're utilizing and are familiar with all of our different programs and opportunities. And so I Can Read is a way to promote children to come in and get their very first library card. They're finally at that age in 2nd grade that they can come and get a library card. So they read us a story, they get a little bag filled with a book and some goodies, and their very first library card.
What a wonderful experience.
It is.
In our previous segment, and as we wrap up here with you, Alyson, you have a Build-A-Bear that's going to be happening the same day as the holidays, December 7th. Mayor Trefz and Jennifer Bishop talked about that, but they're just tickled to death that that's happening here. So tell us about the Build-A-Bear that's going to be happening on December 7th.
Well, our Friends of the Library are what make many of these library programs possible. And so this is one of those examples. And so we have been working to revamp Holidays a bit in the community. And so we're offering this year a Build-A-Bear workshop, and it's limited to just 200 people, unfortunately. I think we could do maybe triple that amount.
First come, first serve.
That's right. It's a first come, first serve, and so it'll be just sort of a magical day for little people to come and build their very own bear and have some hot cocoa, hear a heartwarming story, that type of thing during the holidays events.
Very busy day for holidays, lots going on, and Marshall Public Library with the Build-A-Bear sounds like an exciting time. Kind of run out of time here on this episode, Alyson Thompson. We look forward to coming back and getting caught up on other things being offered here at the Marshall Public Library, as well as previewing the outstanding exhibitions that you have coming up that you've already talked about. So Alyson Thompson, Library Director here at the Marshall Public Library, we thank you for your time here on City Spotlight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we thank all of you for joining us here for this on-location episode on Marshall. We thank you for watching City Spotlight, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.